Hey, what's going on YouTube? Tech Jamo. Now, we're on a bit of a jokes one today. Usually it's a video game thing or it's a technology thing. I think this actually does come into the realms of technology. Anyway, today in the building, as you can tell by the title, we've got this robot vacuum cleaner. Man's not trying to do no housework. Alright guys, so let's get this thing unboxed and see what's really good. Big shout out to the seller on Amazon for hooking it up for review. If you guys like what you see, I'll put the link to where you can copy it yourself in the description section below. But for now, let's just see what we're actually getting in the box. Right, so boom, you got one box which says accessories, you got one box which says robot vacuum cleaner. So let's try and pull that. Damn, this thing is this. Yeah, no. This is the two-hand thing. Still, one sec. Right. So first box says robot vacuum cleaner on it, as you can see there. Next little box is accessories. So you can have a little look in there. We got this. I think this is like the base unit or something. This looks like some kind of base unit. Oh, okay. Okay. And I think that's it for the box in there. Box is spent. So let's have a closer look at what's really going on. Alright, so guys, this thing is so wham, I have to unbox it on the sofa. But basically, let's look into this part first. Robot vacuum cleaner. Okay. Oh, okay, I thought that was a lid, but it is a lid, but it's just not attached. This thing is quite big. This thing is quite wham. What are these bits on the bottom? Look at that, guys. What are those? Let me try and get this off without breaking those. Okay, so there is your first look at what the bottom of one of these things looks like, fam. So it's got your two wheels here. It's got that thing that I guess this is the Hoover part, I guess, that sucks stuff up. Then it's got some wheel at the top here for spinning and turning and ting. These look like two magnets, must be for recharging. Yeah, no, this looks techie. And then on the top, let's take off that cellophane. Here you go. Please remove this anti-collision EVA component before use. Cool, that's moved. And you can see it's got like a little camera. There's a little camera sensor right there. Mad thing. Mad thing. Mad. So it's got the home button and it's got a power on button as well. And this is like, I don't know what this is. If this is an exhaust, this has got some laser stuff going on in it as well. Can you see that? That little thing on top? There's some laser stuff going on in there, fam. There's like a little, I don't know what to call it. But yeah, there's definitely something going on under this little circle thing. Boy, I don't even know how the tech works. But anyway, that's the whole thing. And it's a struggle to hold it with one hand, to be honest. But anyway, let's try and put that down there. Hey! Let's pre the accessories now, innit? Bare different attachments and that. Okay, don't know what it does, but we'll put that to the side. Don't know what this is, fam. But it's also in the shape of that other attachment. So this must be another attachment. And there's bare of them in here. So this must be like a replaceable bit. I don't know. Next thing we got over here is, this looks like some kind of air filter thing. There you go. We've got some little air filter or something like that. Okay, and here's all the instructions and thing like that. But obviously, bad man don't read the instructions. Now let's bring in this guy right here, fam. Now this is the home unit, because from what I understand with this whole contraption is that this thing goes around your yard, hoovering stuff up, and then it comes back to this bin-looking device to recharge and to empty out what it has hoovered up, fam. If I just show you the bottom of this, there's two little metal contacts here, similar to the two metal contacts that I saw underneath that. So I guess it parks itself on here and charges. And obviously it's got the flap at the top. In here we got, are these more, these are replacement bags for the bin. I thought so, yeah. So we got some replacement bags. And then we've got a normal, hey, 3-pin USB, wow, 3-pin cable here. And I think that's about it, guys. So, let me go and try and get this set up and let's see what the setup process is really saying. Alright guys, so yeah, plugging in the thing was relatively easy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I just plugged in the base station and I had to just make sure that there was enough space around the base station for the robot to recognize where the base station is and use it properly kind of thing. So for example, you can't put your base station in a tight corner because the robot won't be able to fit into that base station, but that's common sense, isn't it? Hopefully. Now, once the base station thing was plugged in, I put the robot in front of it and I pressed the on button and pressed the home button, and the robot turned around, looked around the whole room, and then it looked at the base station and it went to go and start charging at the base station. And yeah, that was really cool, because it's not like I put the base station and the robot together. It just looked around the room and it was like, yo, that's my yard, let me go sleep and let me go charge up. But this is where things got confusing for me. Alright guys, so as you can see, man has had the thing set up. It's now the next day. Man has set this thing on a clean and sweep and all sorts, and here are my full impressions of what's going on with the super robot vacuum cleaner. Now first things first, you know me, I like to keep it real. Let's just get this out of the way. If there are wires, yeah, or if there's like some kind of string on the floor and stuff like that, or for example in my situation we had some carpet fraying in the corner of our flat, innit? So what it's tried to do is it's pulled up the string from the carpet fraying, and that's got tangled in the rotating rotors and the wheel underneath the device, and it's caused it to stop. Now anything like that string, it just seems to be the Achilles heel of this thing. It doesn't seem to be able to handle any string on the floor. Now I'm not sure for long hair because of obvious reasons, and I'm also not sure for pets because I don't have pets in the yard kind of thing, innit? But that might be something you want to be aware of, because I'm not sure how well it will handle dealing with pieces of string and hair and stuff like that on the floor. However, there are very detailed instructions on how to deconstruct the robot vacuum cleaner so that you can pull out the motor, untangle it, and then slap it back in kind of thing, innit? It's just that I'm worried that whilst it's getting tagged on something, that could be doing damage to the motor kind of thing, and obviously you're not really watching it while it's doing its thing, so that's just something to be aware of. The way it maps the room is really cool as well. Like even before I got the app, because I set it to vacuum the front room and I think it went into the kitchen, it had the map of my house layout including the kitchen and the front room, and then when it did it the whole way around the house, it started mapping out the bathroom and the bedroom and everything like that. So that was really cool. Now it's got levels of vacuuming power, and it uses them as in volume levels. So it's got quiet, medium, high, and maximum. I feel like quiet is still quite loud, to be honest. Not any louder than a normal Hoover, but yeah, it's just not very quiet. I just wouldn't call it quiet. They should have just called it low power, medium power, high power, blah, blah, blah. I understand. Now, let's say, for example, I tried to use the mopping function on it, which I'll get to in a second. But when I was trying to use that, I didn't want it to mop the carpet, obviously. I just wanted it to mop the kitchen. So I picked it up out of its base and I put it in the kitchen, and it went around the kitchen. It kind of didn't mop anything, but it went around the kitchen, and then when it was time for it to go back to its base, it didn't know how to get back because I had carried it into the kitchen. Whereas there are times where I send it to the kitchen and it knows how to get back because it knows which way it came kind of thing. So that's one thing you might want to bear in mind if you're carrying it around the house to different rooms, for it to obviously do its job a lot faster. Now, obstacles in the house, you're probably thinking, can you leave your trainers on the floor? Can you leave things on the floor? Now, any obstacle that it can't run through, it will go around it and it will map it to the room. So when you're looking on the app, you get a real time like drawing of the room that it's mapping out. So for example, it's got my front room mapped out. If I put a box in the middle of the room, it will recognize that box, and that box will now become a part of the map for the front room kind of thing. So every time you move something around, it will remap it. And yeah, it just does that effortlessly. It doesn't have to go into a remap mode. It just knows what it's doing. So don't worry too much about changing the layout of your house, because like in a normal house, sometimes the coffee table might be over there, sometimes it might be over here. You understand, innit? Or I might have tripods for me, for example. So it's mapped my tripods into the room in the position that they were in. But if you've moved them, it will realize that you've moved them and it will now hoover that area kind of thing. Now, as I was saying with the wires, it doesn't do very good with wires and string and stuff like that, but you can add a section in your house for it to ignore, or for it to not go against, because it knows that it could get tangled up in wires. So I've set the underneath of my desk and the underneath of my partner's desk, and obviously where the TV is, to not go near there, because obviously those are wire zones. And yeah, it's cool. It just avoids them and it cleans the rest of the room, which is probably what you would do with a normal Hoover, you would go in manually anyway, and you would know where the wires are. But with this, at least it will do the main area, and then you can go and do the little areas yourself. Now the app is quite cool. There's quite a few features, like there's features to mark out rooms. There's a point and Hoover feature where you can point to a specific room and it will go to the kitchen from its base station, and then when it's done cleaning the kitchen, it will go back quietly, kind of thing. Or for example, when you want it to clean the bathroom or something like that, you can tell it to go clean the bathroom, then you can tell it to go clean the kitchen, and then it will go back. Or wherever there's been a spill in your yard, let's say you've been eating dinner near the sofa, spilled some food on the floor, you can click near the sofa and it will do that surrounding area, which is really cool, kind of thing. The only issue I'm having with the app is that the instructions for the app itself are a bit dead. I had to do bare trial and error to get the app working, and obviously I'm a techie guy, so I kind of know my way around things and troubleshooting. But for my mum now, she would have given up with this time ago. Granddads, they would have given up with this time ago, kind of thing. So if you're not a techie minded person, be aware that this app does not really come with good instructions. Like, it doesn't really tell you what to do with the app. Saying that, my instructions to you, if you do think about getting this device, is to put the Hoover on and let it survey the whole house without any interruption. Once it surveys the whole house and it goes back to its home on its own, that's where a lot more features of the app open up to you, kind of thing. And that's something the app didn't tell me upon starting. That's something I didn't find in the instruction manuals that came with the product. That's something I've just realized, because last night I was like, damn, this thing is not working. But when I set it on its automatic cleaning cycle, it cleaned the whole house in one go, whereas before I was doing room by room, and bare more options and features became available on the app, kind of thing. So that's something you might want to look into doing before you continue with this robot. Obviously the thing cannot do stairs, fam. It does not climb stairs. One of my brethren was asking me, does it climb the stairs? No, it does not climb the stairs. Come on. we're not there yet, fam. We're not there yet. And the mopping situation. Now, this is where I'm confused, because the instructions tell you how to set up the mop, they tell you how to maintain the mop, replace the mop, and do all of that stuff, but it doesn't tell you how to put the Hoover into mop mode. Now, I put the mop onto the Hoover and I set it into the kitchen to do its thing, but I think it was just hoovering the kitchen, because when I went in there, the floor wasn't even wet. Unless I've done something wrong, but as far as the instructions are telling me, I've done what I needed to do and the kitchen was not mopped. So for the mop mode, that's a straight 0 out of 10 for me, unfortunately. I have to tell you what it is. If you're thinking of getting this to mop your kitchen, think again, because there's something I'm missing. If I do have an update on it, I'll leave you that in the comment section below and perhaps do a video on the mopping prowess of this thing. But right now, it's a certified automatic Hoover for not big spaces, but nice open clear spaces. I would say it's better on lino or like laminated flooring rather than carpet, just because of the complications that string and wires can cause if they come out of if there's like a frayed carpet or thing like that. But all in all, it's actually kind of sick. Like, as I was saying before, if something spills in the front room near the sofa or near the TV or wherever, man can just open up his phone, click on that spot, and this Hoover will go clean it up and come back and then tell you that it's done and that it's charging. That's techie, fam. That's in the future type of thing right there, innit? That's in the future type thing. But yeah, big shout out to the company. I should actually go and try and remember their name now. I'm just gonna put it here somewhere so you guys can see what them man are saying. They were on job with this thing. It is very pricey for what it is. Like, you can just get a Henry and not be lazy. But if you're in the future, if you're trying to stunt to your friends, like, oh, the Hoover's just doing its thing, don't worry about that. Fam, it's a conversational starting piece. You understand? It's dope. It does its job, but it doesn't do the mopping. So be aware of that. But anyway, thanks for watching. If there's any questions, leave it in the comment section below. The link to cop is also in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bless.